I know two things about you for a fact. One, you're not making the level of work you like to be making just yet. And two, you really want to get better. And if that's the case for you, then I can help. Because, like you, I wasn't born with a natural talent for design. I had to learn everything from scratch.
I built this shit brick by brick.
I don't know who that was, but, anyways, I learned how to look at the layouts and figure out what's wrong with it and what it needs. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do it too. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this strange looking layout that some of you might consider to be good enough. And we're going to transform it to this one that sucks a bit less. But first, we'll figure out why the layout is garbage. And then we'll fix it. Alright, suckers. Let's do it. Alright. At first glance, this layout looks like a poorly designed crypto catfish website. And then we have this V shape created by the layout composition. Okay, let's get to the constructive criticism part. Constructive criticism. Let's start with the navbar here. Now, it sucks. It looks like crap. And the reason is there is no clear. There are a couple of reasons here, but like the first one, there's no clear contrast between the logo here and the links. I think this logo uses a medium width for the typography, and this uses a regular for the typography. Or is it the same? There's no clear distinction between that. And then we have the spacing. The spacing is the same with between the logo and the links. So everything just looks the same. And then what happens when a user hovers on these links or clicks on any one of them? How do we differentiate them? And then we have the repetition of the call to action button here, which is absolutely unnecessary. I can tell you for a fact that the reason this was repeated here is that the designer felt like something was missing, and then he or she decided to include something there. And this is a mistake that we make alone when we get started with making layouts. It's you notice that your layout is missing something, and then you just throw in things into the layouts with hopes that whatever you throw in will make the layout work. And it just adds to visual noise, and we don't do that here. Go make that noise somewhere else. And then we have the right align text. Now, for layouts like this to work, these texts have to be heavily anchored to other elements on the layout, and that's not happening here. If I pull in a guide here, you see that this text is just sitting there on its own, anchored to nothing, and it's just a misfit sitting on a layout. And then we have the spacing, the line height here. It's a bit too much, and then the spacing between the header text and the call to action text and the call to action button itself. Usually when you have a grouping like this, you want to push the call to action text closer to the header text, create a bit more dynamism, and that's not happening here. And then we have the semi-cool 3D shape. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool on its own, but for this layouts, no thanks. It's not working. And don't get me started on the colors, man. Whatever color this is, it should make it into your list of colors never to use. Like, never. Like, ever. Alright. I think we can all agree that this layout needs just a little bit of love. So let's fix it. And if you're enjoying the video so far, then do leave a like and maybe consider subscribing as well. Thank you. I forgot to record this part while I was recording. So enjoy this sweet UI review while I fill you in. The quickest way to dramatically level up your design skills is to practice. That said, I'm going to provide you with a layout that you can redesign. to practice what we'll be going over today. And the best part is you can get feedback directly from me by uploading the results to the Discord channel. The link will be in the description. And now, starting with the navigation. Actually, before we do that, I'd like to show you the grid we have here. I always use a simple grid. It's just 5 column grid with a 35 pixel margin from the sides, horizontal sides, and a 20 pixel gutter for the grid things. Yeah. All right. Let's get on with it. My eyes started hurting, so I had to get my glasses. All right. So we're going to create a box for each components of the navbar. But instead of having a straight edged box like this, we're going to have something more like this shape right here. And I'm guessing this shape by subtracting a triangle here from the rectangular shape. Now we have this, and then we're going to place the navigation components inside. Like each one is going to have its own. Like you'll see what I mean in a minute. So let's paste that in. I think I already copied that. Yep. And I can align it to the top like so. And now we have this. Let's make sure it's aligned. Yeah, here it is. And now we have this. Now, you might not see it just yet, but this shape we created sort of already define the direction I want to take this redesign. And don't worry, you see it in a minute. And now to kind of exaggerate the fact that this is a button and it's to kind of have more emphasis on it, I'm going to let's grab this. Let's grab this. See a second. Okay. See that. Yeah. All right. And now we have this. Looking nice. Looking nice. And as you can see here, I've taken into account the overstate for these links. So I went with the usual opacity to like differentiate between the active and inactive links. All right. I also included this metric here. I just realized we didn't talk about what the design was for. So it's a data company that provides data for B2B companies, like to better understand their audience and whatnot. So you can have a number for the leads generated all time right in the navigation. I think it looks cool. So what we can do is grab this layout and place it right next to the one created and see if we have a better result for the navbar than the one from before. And I think we don't need any words. I think we've done pretty well. And when I work on layouts, I always ignore the colors until after the layout looks good on black and white. Then I can begin to think about colors and include colors in the layouts. Now we can move on to the rest of the layouts. Now, what I like to do is to decide the most important details on the layouts and how I want the user to experience the layout, what I want the user to see first, second, and whatnot. Now, for this layouts, it's the value prop tagline. I hope that's what it's called. The tagline, and then we have the header, and then the client this, and then we have the call to action. Right? So I'm just going to pull those in. I already designed this so don't spend too much time. So first we're gonna grab our version of the header text and align that properly. Right. so it's aligned. Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then we can pull in the call to action. So we have cuts out. And paste it in here. Also make sure it's aligned as well. All right, that looks good. Looks good. And then you can grab the client lists. Why? Why can't I select that? Okay. Paste that in here. Align it to the bottom. Water is S. And yeah, align to the bottom again. I push it up. All right. Now we have this. Then notice how this space right here looks a little bit empty. So how do we kind of work around that? You guessed it right. We'll pull in the all important scroll text. Yeah, so important. To tell the user to scroll because sometimes they just, bite, bite on their cursors. Their cursor can't speak today. All right, now we have this. Now we have this. Now notice how I use this elements, the vector shape here. I don't know what it is, but it kind of feeds into the vibe of this layout. It kind of gives more emphasis, brings more emphasis to the direction we're going to with these weird cut boxes, and then we have shapes like this. Yeah, kind of reinforces everything and make sure everything works. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, but like, yeah, you get the vibe. Now we already have the basic components of the layouts all represented, so we can begin to push the layouts and see if there are any points for improvements. And what we can do is grab these two and put them into an auto layouts and then move this to the right and see how it affects the layouts. Now I'm trying to create this kind of S shape for the visual or the way you kind of see the shapes on the layouts. But now it creates this weird space in here, and that's not looking good. I thought it would look nice, but it's not looking nice, and this looks better. And now we can start to think about adding colors and maybe images or shapes into the layouts. And now with a little bit of push and pull and messing around, I can start to get layouts like this. And of course, I started off a bit too simple, I would say, with these shapes. And something that would have been cool would have been to like write Clearbits, the name of the app with these blocks. Yeah. And then we have this. And notice how I kind of did the thing with moving the client list to the left. And this layout doesn't look weird. And it's because we have this right here, this shape here, balancing the visual widths. If we were to take away these elements, now we have that weird space going on there again. And I made this 3D shape sort of by using a radial gradients where you have a darker shade of the color. Yeah, can't speak today. We have a darker shade of the color toward the end of the edges of the shape, I would say, and you have like a brighter shade somewhere here. You get a 3D kind of effects going on. So yeah, that's how I got that. And then the glass morphism effects. And then we have this here. I think this looks really nice. I just use the same kind of idea. I saw something like this on Pinterest, thought it'd be cool, kind of recreate it. Yeah. And here we have this, and then this. I don't know what these shapes are, but I created them by mistake. I think they look nice. Probably wouldn't make it to the final design if this was a real project, unless I was a client, and it might, it just might. All right, so here's what we have, and this is my favorite, I think. Yeah. Let me know in the comments which layouts is your favorites. And if you haven't already, then like and maybe, just maybe, consider subscribing as well. See you in the next one.